Hey everybody, this is Mike, and I just got back from PAX Unplugged today. I went again with my 13-year-old Harrison. It was a great time. I think I played something like 25 or 30 new-to-me games, and what I'm going to do in this video is talk about my 10 favorites. And as a bonus, if you are a Patreon supporter, I'm going to do a second video that talks about all of the games beyond number 10 and all the review copies I got, and I'm just going to do sort of a debrief of the convention overall. Now, some disclaimers. This is going to include competitive, solo, and cooperative games. My son likes to play a lot of competitive games, and I do as well, especially like 1v1 battlers, so I'll mention potentially a few of those. And also, for most of these games, I only played them a couple of times, so these are not like complete reviews or finished thoughts, just a partial feeling for the game so far. Though many of these I will be featuring on the channel at one point or another. But before I get to my top 10, I did want to talk about 3 games that we played a lot of at the convention, and I had an awesome time with. Honestly, these 3 might top the list, but I've covered them on the channel in different ways in the past, so I didn't think they quite fit in as a like new to me from PAX list. So the first one was Lord of the Rings: The Two Towers. I did a review of this recently. Continues to be awesome. I continue to feel that this is even better than the original game. And we played just a ton of this one. 3 and 4 player had a blast as always. So big recommend. Was available at PAX and it will be available in January, I believe. And then 2 other bonus ones coming to the channel soon, both from Button Shy. So Converge, I had covered, let's see if I still have it. Hey, indeed I do. So I had covered one of the sets from the original release of 3, which is Catalyst of Change, as well as the solo mode. And I kind of had mixed feelings of it because I think Catalyst of Change is one of the least interesting of all the sets, but they didn't send me any other ones. So to fix that, they gave me all 3 of the new set that I think is out now or coming, and also the new solo mode that works with all 3 of them. And man, oh man, are these more interesting than Catalyst of Change and have given me a great appreciation for Converge. To be clear, I played this a ton with my son. Competitive, I have not tried out the solo mode again, but it was a blast each time. Very tense, very engaging. I'll have a full video on some of these new sets and the new solo mode. I mean, I think it's the same solo mode, just working with these new sets. I'll have that on the channel soon. But yeah, that was another one that I've kind of covered before, but really enjoyed. And then the other one is Last Lighthouse. Another one that I was kind of, I think, middling on when I did the preview because the balance wasn't great. And they they literally said, hey, Mike, you know, your balance concerns made us change some things. They went back and redesigned some stuff, and I've now played the new version, and man, it's good. So I'll have a new video of this one too, because I think I want to show off how much better the game got after those changes. It's very challenging, very tense now. All right, so those are 3 that are not part of the top 10. Let's jump back and forth between my face for the ones I don't have in person and the actual games and get to the list. All right, starting at number 10, this is one of the ones I don't have a copy of because it's a competitive-only game, and it's coming next year, I believe, and that is All In Predictions. And this is a cool mix of sort of a drafting game and a bluffing game and a poker building game, because how it works is you have 5 cards in your hand trying to build traditional poker hands, trying to get the best one you can, but on your turn, if you don't like your hand, you play a single card from your hand, and that'll let you draw cards from this offer, which will include cards previously played by the other players, or it'll let you draw straight from the deck. It will let you ask other players what their current hand ranking is or look at some of their cards. So in the end, there's still a lot of luck in All In Predictions. It's still poker, but you have a lot of control and you're kind of sort of deciding how long you want to wait before you think your hand is finished and strong enough. And then you score points for your hand, but you also get to predict who you think had the best hand at the table based on what you saw them grabbing and stuff. And that's going to earn you some points as well. So definitely a fun time. That was my number 10, All In Predictions. At number 9 is the only game that I actually bought at the convention. I try not to buy games very often because I get sent too many and my rooms are already full of games that I can't fit anything. But we loved this game as killer at last year's PAX Unplugged. My son wanted to play this new one, which is called Frozen Horror, is based on The Thing. And you and the other players are moving around this board here, although things will get destroyed as the players die to keep it tight and confined. And some of you will be humans, but one of you will be the horror. If you're alone with the horror, they'll eat you. But every round, somebody else might be the horror because you never know who to trust. So it keeps kind of that thing guessing game going. But the core action from this game is killer, where you get 2 cards. One is your move and one is your action every turn is still there. And yeah, this is just, I think, a tighter, more consistently fun game than the original. I think the fact that you might be the killer one round and then not the killer the next round keeps things a bit more entertaining. And me and my son just had a blast with this. And we even, my son had the idea to make a 2-player variant, which we have played, and I think it's pretty awesome. So I'll probably be posting that on BGG. Clearly, I can't cover this game on the channel in any major way. But yeah, this game is killer frozen horror. That is my number 9. Next to number 8 is another one that is coming next year, another competitive one. This is called Ghosts Galore. It actually reminds me a lot of Stone Spine Architects in that you are building a base with, in this case, tiles in a 3x3 grid instead of, I think Stone Spine was like, 5x5. But you have like monsters and things in there and they score in different ways, so there are some similarities. But the way you get the tiles is super different in that it's kind of like push your luck-ish. Each round, players will take turns either taking one of the face-up tiles or flipping a new tile from the stack. So the longer you wait, the more chances you'll have to grab something. But if you wait too long, somebody might snatch up a tile that you were eyeing. So it had some interesting play there. Each of the monsters scores differently, so it seems like there's a cool amount of stuff to pursue. It was maybe a little bit long, at least learning it in the full game we played, but it was a lot of fun, and the strategies that were pursued were pretty interesting. So yeah, that's Ghosts Galore, my number 8. Next to number 7, sorry for having a lot that I don't have a copy of the show, is The Trial of the Forest. This is another upcoming one. And this is, as far as I know, at least so far, competitive only for 2 to 4 players. It's an adventure game where you are taking turns wandering around this little forest. You can help out people or do nefarious things. You can get equipment and fight each other. And you're kind of like completing these little deeds. It's almost like an entire game focused on the vagabond from Root, if you want to kind of think of it that way. But with some really interesting card play. You can like discard cards to boost your actions, but there are also the quests that you can compete. We only got to play a few turns of this one, but it was definitely fun, pretty thematic while still being sort of a tactical Euro experience. So a good time overall. That was The Trial of the Forest, my number 7. Back to the table for number 6 and back to Button Shy. This is Dustbiters Pocket Edition. From what I understand, there was an original Dustbiters that was like its own thing, not from Button Shy, maybe 4 or 5 years ago. And this is kind of a resurrection of the game. But yeah, there's sort of like a Mad Max-ish vibe. It's a 1v1 competitive game. You have some cars facing you in a line. Your opponent has their cars. Every card is unique. Every card has different powers. And on your turn, you're taking 3 actions to jockey for position and use your powers to send people back. But sort of like Mad Max Fury Road, a giant dust storm is chasing after you. And at the end of each player's turn, the rearmost car gets blown up. And that's pretty much it. And it is a ton of fun, incredibly fast to play. The cars are quite different and entertaining. Just a good time. The one thing we're not sure about, me and my son, it does seem like there's a first player disadvantage where it's a little bit harder for them to win because all of their cars start in the crosshairs of the storm, whereas the other players' cars are all at the front. But then you can like draw cards from the deck, and it's like a little bit too easy to do that. So we've been playing around with like house rules or just trying to see if our strategy is flawed in some way. But putting all that to the side, because the game is stupid fun regardless, Dustbiters is a really good time, and that's my number 6. Next to number 5 is a little one, Micro Hero Hercules, and I'll definitely be covering this on the channel soon. It has some expansions, but I'll show you the core game. I'm actually in the middle of a campaign right now. You can save and put the game away because you're trying to go through all of Hercules' 12 labors. So the basic idea is you have this little stance card, and you can kind of flip between different powers it can give you. And then you have your action deck, and you are playing cards, and this is a pretty unique system. I've never seen this before. You'll have usually a hand of 5, and the first card you play gets its effect multiplied by the number of cards beneath it. So this attack, if I lay out my cards like that, is going to happen 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Then this experience star 4 times, this one 3 times, this defense 2 times, this attack 1 time. And you're facing off against Hercules' 12 labors. These are different bosses with different stats. And then when you beat one, it goes into the reserve where you can deck build it into your deck to have more powers. And there's a lot of interesting stuff here with timing and tactics. It has the Aeon's End thing where when you go through your entire deck, you just flip it over. So trying to keep your cards in the right order is really interesting. And yeah, so far I'm having a good time. I haven't even dug into the mini expansions yet. So I'll definitely have this on the channel soon, but it's a fun one for tactical deck building combat. That is Micro Hero Hercules, my number 5. Next, number 4 is another 1v1 competitive game. This is one that actually crowdfunded recently from Plaid Hat, Super Auto Pets Card Battle. This is an auto battler, like Challengers would probably be the closest comparison, and it really is a lot like Challengers, except that it's only 1v1, at least that I know of. Maybe there's like a team mode, but it's way more strategic. You know, Challengers is kind of fun in that it's sort of chaotic and crazy. This one lets you do a lot more with like really weird combos, and you kind of keep your cards, and they're in an exact order you place them in. So it's got like a little bit of a tag team vibe as well. Really enjoyed this one just with the little bit of demo decks they had on offer. Love to play it more and see what else is in there. So I might go late back this myself. But that again is Super Auto Pets Card Battle, my number 4. Number 3 is also a 1v1 competitive game, Madcala, like Mancala, except Mad. This is from the Wonderland War team. So it's got that Alice in Wonderland versus the Red Queen theme. Those are the factions we played, Alice versus the Red Queen. But yeah, it's a Mancala game where you're moving your stones around a circle, but whatever space you end your stone on is going to give you an action, like healing, dealing damage, drawing special cards. But then each faction has asymmetric cards that give them special powers and things. You're using your powers against each other, and it was just a lot of fun. My son did destroy me in the game using his dodo attack over and over again, but it's still a really good time. This is one that I actually might pick up as well. All the top ones are ones that I want to play again. So that again was Madcala, my number 3. And number 2 is another solo co-op one, finally, and a really awesome one that I think y'all should be excited about. It is an upcoming one, I think, for next year. I'm going to try to do a preview. It's got a long title, Alpha Team Mechanized Battle Force Go. Alpha Team Mechanized Battle Force Go. It's sort of a like giant robot Power Rangers versus big monsters theme, but the gameplay is cooperative Seven Wonders drafting in that you are passing around a hand of cards. You take one, you pass it on. You take one, you pass it on. But the cards you're taking are the attacks of the enemy boss, so you're kind of taking one for the team by choosing to be attacked, defenses to stop those attacks, and attacks to actually damage the boss, and then like other special effects and things. And one of the cool elements is that you can only take the card at the left or right of the hand you're holding. So I might want to take a card that's not perfect for me, but I can see it's going to unlock the perfect card for my ally. So like lots of cool cooperative potential here. The game is very challenging, but it's also very quick. The art is beautiful. So yeah, I'm really hyped about this one. Definitely going to try to do a preview. That is my number 2, Alpha Team Mechanized Battle Force Go. And finally, number 1, this one's kind of cheating because this is not actually a PAX game. It was not at PAX. This is a prototype for a game that I'm going to do a preview for, but it happened to come in a box literally as I walked out the door with my son to get in the car and go up to Philadelphia. The box arrived. So I was like, what the hey, we'll just bring it. So this is Boktor, and yeah, it's upcoming. Let me just kind of show you what it's about. So Boktor is for 1 to 6 players, and we played with 5, and yes, there was some downtime, but it still worked pretty well. Impressive. It's like a very light, quick, family weight dungeon crawler experience. You're moving your characters around. As you do, you are building the dungeon out in these different connectors, which is spawning monsters, and they activate whenever you stop taking your actions. And there's 6 different characters. By the way, this is a crazy prototype. This is one of the most beautiful, basically looks like it's a finished game prototypes I've ever seen. But yeah, you have 1 of 6 characters. Each of them has a completely unique way of attacking. It's super cool. Why are you upside down? Like this guy attacks based on how many people are in his space. He has different odds of hitting. She has different odds of hitting based on how far away the enemy she's shooting at is. This guy has different odds of hitting based on whether enemies are in his space or not. So like the characters are very diverse, and they each have a fully unique set of equipment and special abilities as you level up. And you're trying to fight enough enemies while not taking too much damage as quickly as you can until you can spawn one of the bosses and defeat them. And they each have their own unique deck of cards with spawning enemies and activating them. We've only played it 3 times, and I'm not 100% sure about the balance yet. I'm not 100% sure about how the variety will be. But it was a blast, both 3 and 5 player, which is pretty dang impressive for a quick dungeon crawler experience. So definitely want to play more of this, and that makes it, for now, my number 1 of the con. Although, again, kind of cheating. It's not really part of the con, but I played it there. That is Boktor. So there you go. Those were my 10 favorites from PAX Unplugged. If you went to the convention, let me know what some of your favorites were. And again, if you're a Patreon supporter at the $5 level, head on over, and you can hear about all the other games I played and got.